What's up, fighting fans? Tips from the Fight IQ channel. Today we're coming back for another episode of the Fight IQ Unplugged. And this week I had the opportunity to be with Malik Basahel. Malik is an amateur MMA fighter. He competed in the best amateur tournament on the planet. He's currently signed on a PFL contract and he will fight next weekend in the first edition of the PFL Mena in Riyadh. But let's cut to the chase and have a chat with him. What's up, fighting fans? Tips from the Fight IQ channel. Today I'm here with Malik Basahel. Malik, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So Malik is an amateur MMA fighter with a record of 18-2-1. He's set to compete in the PFL Mena first edition in Riyadh next weekend. So Malik, how did you first come into MMA?
I started MMA when I was 14 years old. I'm 22 now, so about 8 years. I was doing football before mixed martial arts, and then my father introduced me to a gym that had martial arts like jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and basically for the first year and a half, I just did Muay Thai and jiu-jitsu, and so I basically just started in mixed martial arts. I basically just started in all kind of with the striking discipline and the grappling discipline. So,
Okay.
but yeah, so I started when I was 14. I was only doing football as a sport pretty much. Not professional, like in a high level or anything, just for fun. But that like was the only sport I was doing before I started doing mixed martial arts.
Okay. Were you familiar with mixed martial arts before you went into the gym, or was it also new to you?
No. So yeah. So no one in my family did martial arts before. Um, I used to watch a lot of. I still watch a lot of like like WWE wrestling.
Yeah.
So when my father said this, I thought that like that's what he meant.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought that's what he meant, but no. So I just started doing jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and then Muay Thai, and then yeah. But I fell in love with it. Um, maybe because since I was a kid, I was watching
Yeah.
WWE, and it's obviously it's not the same thing, but it's mostly like a kind of contact combat thing. So I just picked it up easily, especially with the kind of wrestling department of it.
Yeah. And when you enter in that gym, was it just as a mean to unleash some maybe aggressivity or just staying active? But do you were you feeling that you were also willing to compete?
So I just tried it for like the first time, like everyone else, like you don't know what's gonna happen after
Yeah.
after that first session or not,
Yeah.
you know. But honestly, I fell in love with it with like after the first week of, because I did a Muay Thai session and then I did a jiu-jitsu session back to back.
Nice.
Like that was my first day of martial arts,
Great.
introduction to martial arts. Yeah, and yeah, I just fell in love with it, and then like a couple of months later, I just started competing in jiu-jitsu tournaments. Had my first Muay Thai fight, um, doing kickboxing fights, and then
Yeah.
obviously had my amateur MMA debut.
That's pretty cool. And was
And I was
it
always yeah, sorry to cut you off. I was always competitive as well, so I was always into competition and stuff.
yeah.
So even playing football and stuff, or even just gaming or anything else, I was always competitive. So it was easy for me to pick it up.
Yeah. And was it in England or was it in Saudi Arabia that you started?
No. So I started in Saudi. Yeah,
Okay. And what was the name of the gym?
it was called Arena.
Is it
I, s- yeah, I still train it. I still
okay?
train. I still train out here. I just do my grappling over there, but and my strength and conditioning. But yeah, here like in Saudi, I train all over the place because yeah, there's so many good guys, but
Yeah.
everyone's like in different gyms. Everyone's different places. But yeah, like here in Saudi, I kind of train all over the place. But I still have my kind of main like head coaching team. But yeah, I pretty much like bounce around from
Yeah.
gyms here in Saudi. Yeah. I
And
mean, they're all together pretty much. Like they're all like kind of one team, anyways. But
and how did you got introduced to AVT? Because I heard that you're also training at AVT in Leeds in England.
yeah. So obviously, ABT is kind of my main team.
Yeah.
So I went to Leeds for university when I was 17,
Okay.
like about like 4 or 5 years ago, and obviously just where ABT was kind of the biggest gym around that area,
Yeah.
and I just started training over there. Obviously with under Danny Mitchell,
Then
and then
Mitchell.
Jay. Yeah. Um, Yeah, I just started with since I moved to Leeds for
Yeah.
university.
Would you say that they had a great influence over your wish to compete amateur, or were you
Yeah,
already?
obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, of course. I had my amateur debut with them. Like my first
Hmm.
MMA fight was under ADT.
Yeah. Cage
Um,
steel, right?
KHC,
Yeah.
that was when I had my first amateur fight. I think I was 17 or just turned 18. But like 3 years before that, I just did like kind of jiu-jitsu tournaments, Muay
Yeah.
Thai, kickboxing, like like not mixed martial arts. I don't think I was eligible to or allowed to fight until I was 18
Yeah.
over here. But
Yeah.
yeah, I did those MMA fights, but like without head strikes. So I don't know if you want to count them as fights, but yeah.
Are you still because as an amateur, of course, you cannot dedicate your days to only to training, I suppose. But are you still able to go to England and train with AVT once in a while?
Yeah. So I still go there. So for my last fight, the one that took place in Saudi as well.
Yeah.
Uh, I trained with ABT for that fight.
Yeah.
So I did like a 4 to 5 weeks training with them, and then I flew over with Danny, and then he called me for my last fight. But for this one, I'm training over here, but obviously still representing AVT.
Yeah. Right. And would you say that here you have enough training partners that are from your weight and also your own level or better level even than you?
Yeah. Obviously, there's a lot of good guys over here. Like I think because Saudi maybe is not known
No.
for mixed martial arts. No, it's not. But we have a lot of good guys. Even obviously, I don't train with him because he lives in a different city. But
Yeah.
Abdullah Gahtani was fighting. He's main eventing in that card next week. He's very good as well. Like he's probably one of our best guys in the country. But in terms of the training partners, I have great training partners over here. I train with featherweights, bantamweight.
Yeah.
There's not many flyweights anyway. Even back in
No,
England, there
that's
wasn't
true.
that many flyweights. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of good guys to train with, whether it's in the grappling department, striking, or mixed martial arts kind of training, strength and conditioning. There's always good guys to learn from.
Do you think it's starting to pick up MMA in Saudi Arabia? That it's getting more professionalized and more, yeah, more light
Oh,
on it?
yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think it picked up since 2018 as
Yeah,
well. Since that kind of Khabib and Conor fight, that's when pretty much everything blew up here in the Arab countries. Um, Even I think that's when I think 2018 is where the Saudi MMA Federation came in. I think
okay.
that's like in that year. So, and then that's when they started have a federation, and then competing in the IMMAFs and stuff. Um, yeah, it's I think it's growing, especially with the events that's coming in, like the PFL.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
think
great.
I think even UFC is coming like in a couple
Yeah,
of months as well.
they are.
Um, yeah, especially from the last event, the one I competed in was, yeah, it's a big event,
Yeah,
and
it
yeah,
looks
yeah.
great. It looked great. I watched it, of course, on TV, but it looks huge,
Oh
really
yeah. It was a big
professional.
event. Yeah.
Yeah, looks amazing. That must be
It's definitely
something.
big. Yeah, it's definitely the biggest event I competed in as
Yeah,
well. But yeah.
can understand. And as an amateur, are you are you still training? Do you feel like you're training like an amateur, or do you feel like you're training like a pro? Because you take it really seriously. That we can tell when you see your fights. But are you still able to train every day? How many days? How many times in a day are you training? And what are
Yeah,
yours?
yeah, yeah. Of course, I take it seriously and stuff. Uh, I train twice a day for most for like yeah. I train twice a day. I try to be as much like into it as can, but at the same time, uh, like between sessions, I would try to stay off it as well for a
Yeah,
bit. But yeah, obviously I take it seriously, but not too seriously. Like, well, at the point I'm not having fun. Like, obviously, one of the things we about this is you have to love it as well.
for
And
sure.
yeah, I love doing it. I love kind of not just training hard, but also like learning new techniques, kind of trying new like different styles. Sparring different styles, working with different guys. Like, for example, a guy it's good at striking, and a guy is good at grappling, a guy is
Yeah,
good at defending takedowns, a guy is good at pursuing those takedowns. Yeah, it's yeah, martial arts. I think is. you gotta have fun with it. I don't think it's. I think you gotta be serious sometimes, especially if you like you want to fight the highest level, but at the same time you want to be able to have fun.
Yeah. So that's all it's about for you now on your amateur journey. That you want to have fun, try different style, different
Yeah,
matchups.
and obviously I think the difference between amateur and pro is the experience.
Yeah.
I think at the amateur you want to gain as much experience. Like this will be my 20. I had 21 fights. This will
Yeah.
be my 22, I think,
22nd.
amateur
Yeah. Yeah.
fight. Yeah, 22nd amateur fight. Um, yeah, like it's all about experience and stuff, especially with the IMMAFs.
Yeah.
And now fighting on the PFL as an amateur, like not many people get this opportunity.
No.
So I'm really grateful for this. But yeah, it's just now about learning and then trying to evolving as a fighter and as an athlete as well.
About this, I know in Europe, there is that wish that the amateur journey lasts quite a long time. I mean, in Europe you cannot go pro before a certain amount of fights. I know in the US it's completely different. Some guys have like two amateur fights and they turn pro.
Yeah,
What are your thoughts on this?
yeah. I think it's. I don't know, honestly. I think it depends on the fighter, like
Yeah,
really, and the team, obviously. Like for me, I just follow what my team says, what my coach say. Like I remember, like when I had 10 amateur fights, I was gonna turn pro,
yeah,
and then obviously I want to do the IMAFs, and now after the IMAFs agents, I had 20, so like 10 fights, just let's say 10 fights happened. So and obviously getting signed as with PFL as an amateur, like there's so many different ways of getting that experience as
yeah,
well before turning pro, but some guys who don't even have turn pro and then now the UFC champions, world champions. Like I think it depends on the individual, but
yeah.
if I had to say, I'd probably say like you need like a good amateur experience, but then you have guys like Ngannou who just shows up and then knock people out and then
Yeah.
becomes a world champion. So I think it depends on the individual, but
Of
I
course.
think I think I think nowadays, if you want to be like skilled and high level, I think you gotta have like a good base of an amateur. Doesn't have to be like 50 or 40 or even
No, of
30
course.
fights, but no, but like just like a good competition of amateur before turning pro.
Yeah, because most of the time you see, for example, last weekend I watched the LFA in the US,
Yeah,
and there was a Russian prospect that fight. He didn't have a lot of pro fights, but he has maybe 40 fights amateur experience because in
yeah,
Russia there is a lot of sambo competition,
yeah.
a lot of amateur tournaments. So those guys turn pro and are quite already experienced for pros. So is that something that you wish also arrive as a pro with a lot of experience in your background?
Yeah, obviously you wanna have experience before turning pro because once you turn pro you can't go back. But
No.
I mean you could the thing is you could have experience even as a pro. Like you could like have like 5 to 10 fights of just
Yeah.
getting experience as a pro fighter, but obviously anything can happen in a fight. Like you can get caught by submission or knockout, anything. Anything can happen in the cage. But like I said, I think you want to be try to get as much cage time as you can as
Yeah.
well. Doesn't have to like even amateur or as a pro. I think you wanna have that mindset of trying to fight as much as you can if you're healthy, obviously. But yeah, I think experience is key if you want to go to the highest level. I think that's the difference you see in the highest level as well. Uh, like you see it even when guys like in fighting for championship fights, like those two extra
Yeah.
5 round championship fights make a difference as well. So it's not just even amateur and pro; it's even when you get the highest level, you
Yeah.
want to have that experience as well.
And let's dig a bit more in your amateur career for now. So you started in 2020 in England as at Cage Steel.
Yeah.
What were you feeling? Because you had a few fights before the IMF and you won all of them. What were you feeling after starting competing as amateur and seeing that you were quite successful with your fights?
In my debut,
Yeah,
yeah. Uh, well, I had like 3, 4 years experience before it, like in terms of training and then competing in. I competed a lot of jiu grappling tournaments. I competed a lot of like in, not a lot, but like a couple of kickboxing fights, and then I had a Muay Thai fight. So I had kind of experience in terms of competing.
yeah,
So, but obviously, kind of, it was my first mixed martial arts kind of debut. So, yeah, it was nice as well. I wanted to keep on getting more fights, but obviously COVID happened.
yeah.
Like it's just the day
Unfortunately,
after. Yeah, yeah. So I had my fight March the 13th, and then March 14th, that's when the lockdown happened. But I fought at the end of the year as well. I
Yeah.
had two fights end of the year. Yeah. Here in Saudi, it was a national tournament where I fought twice in the same day, which is I think is a good experience. I think that's why stuff like as an amateur, you want to be able to have those kind of fights. Obviously, that's why you wear shin guards and rash guards and stuff like that
Yeah.
to have those more fights, like the IMMAF type, like IMMAF format. Um, yeah, like the IMMAF, I competed in the World Championships. That was 5 fights, like in 5 days.
It's crazy.
You know, the Asian Championships, 3 fights, 3 days. So it's I think those type experiences as an amateur you want, like to gain those multiple fights in small, like in a short,
A short
like
amount of
in a
time.
short period of time. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because yeah, you're not professional, but basically you're gonna fight every day for a week, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
which is quite hard on the body
And,
also. So yeah,
and the highest level of as an amateur, like in the IMAFs, is probably the highest level.
it is.
It is the highest level of competition for mixed martial arts for an amateur.
Yeah, and about that, so you mentioned earlier that after a few 10 fights, you said that you were about to turn pro, but you wanted to do the IMF, the World Championship, because there is also a Asian and a
Yeah.
European Championship. Uh, was what was motivating you for the IMF? You wanted to prove that you were one of the best in amateur in your category. That was the
Yeah,
point.
it's definitely like you wanna test. I think it's you wanna test yourself against guys at your weight, and then you wanna see how your skill set matches
Yeah,
up against theirs. Um, yeah, like the IMMAF World Championships, like I fought 4 guys, and then all different styles, from different places. Um, like one guy was kind of heavy pressure, the other guy was more technical, moving around. One guy was just using more of his strength. So you kind of uh, you kind of like see like your reaction to different sides during the moment, not in sparring where you can uh, like can improve it like later the
yeah,
next day or something. No, like this one in the fights you can like you gotta adapt to that style, and obviously because you don't have time to study
no,
your opponents now. I still think as an amateur, like you don't want to focus too much on that stuff. You just want to focus on do what you want to do. And yeah, those amateur IMAFs definitely the best for those kind of experiences.
yeah. Are you grateful that you got to do that, to have that experience on your CV?
Oh, of course, man. Yeah, of course as well. Especially medaling in those tournaments as well. But obviously representing the country as well. It's my first time competing for the national team.
Yeah.
As yeah, so it was a very good opportunity.
Is it important for you? You say representing your country, so I guess that's kind of an honor for you to represent Saudi Arabia on the IS scene because the IMAF is the IS scene for amateur. Were you a bit disappointed when you didn't get that gold medal to bring back to the country?
Oh, of course, man. Yeah, yeah, of course. Uh, Especially it was a close fight as
Yeah,
well. Yeah, obviously. Um, I was a bit disappointed, but you gotta move on. Like,
yeah,
because I had the Saudi games like 3 days after it,
yeah.
and then a week later I had the IMAF agents. So you can't really think of those losses too much. Obviously, it sucks during the day or even maybe the next day, but you just have to move on. And then there's only one thing you can do with those losses, and then just learn from it, and then try to grow, and then try to get better as a fighter.
Yeah. After the IMF World Championship, you did the Saudi Games, where you were quite successful. You won with some finishes there, and then you did the IMF Asian Championships, in which also
Yeah.
you had excellent results. Uh, did you think? Do you think that the experience you got in the IMF World Championship helped you to get even better in those tournaments?
Oh, obviously, yeah, of course, man. Because I think the main thing was like, I don't want to lose this one. Like I think it's kind of those because you lost at the final at the World Championships. You don't want to lose at this like you don't want to lose the Saudi and you don't want to lose the IMF agents as well. So it's it's more kind of not mental or anything like that, but it's like you don't want to. Okay, I don't want to lose this time, but I think I kind of. it's not just, oh, I didn't want to lose. No, like I had to improve from it.
Yeah,
Yeah, like stay more switched on. I don't know. Just kind of, I don't know how to explain it. Just like you don't want to lose.
no, for sure.
That's it. I think. Yeah.
And yeah, after that you got contracted by PFL, which is
Yeah.
huge. PFL, I think, is um, the the only big league that has amateur fighting, which is quite a great opportunity for young amateurs.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just going to ask, were you not also contacted by other leagues that were proposing you a pro contract directly?
I don't think so.
No.
I think yeah, the thing is, PFL they came to us before the IMF as well. They
Okay.
came to us. Yeah, they came out to us before the IMF for championships and stuff. But in terms of other, I mean, the other big organization is UFC and Bellator, and then obviously PFL bought Bellator. So, uh, and I don't think UFC signed guys in their debut. I think they signed guys
Yeah.
like, man, you gotta have like 6, 7 fights in. But yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think it is.
No.
I think there has been
Yeah.
other big organizations.
Because in Middle East, for example, you have Brave CF, which is quite popular,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they never contacted you or your
I
team.
don't, I don't, I don't think so. But maybe if we tried to get on it, maybe
Yeah.
it would have happened. But I don't think so. No.
Okay. Okay. That's pretty huge that PFL already had you on their radar before
Yeah,
you even
yeah,
competed. That's kind of great.
yeah. It was crazy. Yeah,
And so you mentioned earlier off camera that you have now a contract with PFL. You signed for a year as an amateur.
yeah.
Is it then the deal that after that you go pro?
Hopefully, I don't think it says, but I, the thing is, it is we signed as an amateur for a year, but I can turn pro anytime.
Yeah.
So I could turn pro after this fight, but it's it really depends. It's mostly depends on my team, on my coach, what he wants me to do. So I will just keep doing what I'm doing. I'll just keep on trying to evolve, and then try to get them wins.
I really love the fact that you're really down to earth. I mean, a lot of young guys they would be a bit impatient to go pro
Yeah,
because MMA is a young man sport. Of course, the younger
yeah,
you begin, the better you're gonna get in the end. But you're still down to earth. You're still willing to compete amateur as much as you can, and
yeah.
listening to the advice from your team. Um, I actually really look forward to see you compete next week. I will
Oh,
watch
thank you, man. Yeah,
the
thank you.
PFL Mena. Is it also important for you to compete in that kind of events that are also
Yeah,
new to Saudi Arabia and that
yeah,
are shining the light on that part of the world for MMA?
yeah. Obviously, I think the last event was just a big event because obviously it was PFL versus Bellator. But for this event, I think it's more special because it's more kind of towards us, like us athletes. Obviously, me and Abdullah Gahtani competed in the last event, but this one we're kind of like the main. I mean, he's probably the main guy, obviously, but
Yeah.
just for me to compete and then compete in Saudi even like in front of my family and friends as well. Um, yeah, it just yeah. I mean, that's what you want. You want to be able to fight and showcase your skills in front of
Yeah.
your people as well. Yeah, and as much as people as you can. And for this event, yeah, like there's so many tickets have been sold as well already. Yeah, I'm just excited now to go and showcase my skills and just fight.
Do you feel an extra pressure because you're fighting in front of your family, friends, in your own country, and that will be also broadcasted?
Sure. No, no. Uh, Pressure, but good pressure.
Good pressure.
Like it's not like I'm scared or anything. It's just
No, of
mostly it's
course.
like, okay, I gotta perform good. I gotta, I gotta show them how good I am. I gotta show them my skill set. I gotta show them like, uh, I can be a world champion level one day.
Yeah.
But obviously, pressure, all this stuff. It's good. Like you want to have those things. You want to have those feelings because you put in the work, and then you wanna be rewarded at the end. And obviously, the main thing is go get this W, and just kind of yeah, just be myself.
Now you're competing in Saudi Arabia, but PFL is worldwide.
Yeah.
Is it your wish someday also to compete in events in other part of the world and also showcasing what Saudi Arabia MMA is able to produce now?
Oh, of course, I want to be able to fight around the world. Obviously, I fought in England when I was there, like in the regional shows and stuff, and that was cool.
Yeah,
I want to fight in the US. I want to fight in Tokyo, Japan. I want to fight, I want to find those like places, like historical places. Like I want to one day fight in MSG in New York. Um, Maybe one day fight in Tokyo Dome in Japan.
would be crazy.
uh yeah, Las Vegas, like it's those places I want to fight at as well. Like even I fought in London obviously, but it was like a small show.
Yeah,
It was small, but small compared to those shows, but it was a big show, like in terms like regional wise. It's called Fight and it was one like my favorite, like first like one like kind of like one of my um, best fights I ever had, like in terms of like events and stuff. And I fought in London, but I want to fight in the O2. I want to fight like in Wembley. I want to fight
would
in
be
those big
amazing.
shows. Yeah, hopefully one day.
And what are your aspirations in the future? I mean, of course, at some point you will turn pro. That's for sure. You have too much talent to stay amateur your whole life.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you have something like a like milestone along the way, or you just go with the flow?
Yeah, it's mostly just go with the. It's mostly just go take it by time. It's just I think the main thing is focus on like trying to get better as a fighter and as an athlete. I think that's the main thing. Like I want to improve my skill set. I want to improve on my technical abilities, my athletic abilities. I think those are the main thing. But obviously, hopefully one day I'd be like fighting those big shows, like in terms of like stadiums, like this. It is. I want to fight like in a stadium called Johara, which is here in Jeddah, where I live, and it's like 60,000 people. Like obviously that's a goal for me one day. But obviously be a world champion. That's like I think that's more. If you're an MMA fighter and then you want to go those high level, want to be in those high level kind of
Competitions.
shows and
Yeah.
everything competition. Yeah, you want to be a world champion level. Um, but yeah, I think the main thing is just try to get better as a fighter.
Do you have role models, professional MMA fighter, for example, that you look up to, that you say, okay, that's kind of performances I want to be able to do?
Yeah, like not like role model. Have like I idolize him or anything or like anyone, but uh, I try to learn as much as I can from different fighters, different styles. Obviously, one guy that comes from my, especially being a flyweight, is Demetrius Johnson.
Of course, yeah.
I think even if you're a heavyweight, that's guy you wanna learn from. Yeah, he's just so gifted as an athlete, so gifted as a fighter.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah, he's probably in terms of skills wise, he's probably the best of all time. Obviously, guys like John Jones, Daniel Cormier as well.
Yeah,
Um, uh, I don't know, man, so many guys.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, Josh Pierre, of course, obviously.
yeah. Of course, yeah.
Leon Edwards is so skills, like he's so skill set as a striker as well. There's so many different Habib as well, Islam, just like different sides you wanna kind of learn from and
Learn
stuff.
from each and put it in
Yeah,
your own game.
yeah. There's
Yeah,
there's not one guy like you want to idolize. It's different. Like you want to take something from every different style.
yeah. You have actually a really, for those who never watched you fight, you have a really complete style. You master. You can strike, you can grapple, you can wrestle, you have
Yeah.
a big
Thank you.
submission game. I think that's quite amazing. So that makes a lot of sense what you said just now, that picking a bit of everybody and putting it in
Yeah.
your own skill set. Um, when you watch some professional flyweights around the world, any organization, are
Yeah.
there some fighters that you like? I'd like to fight him someday, just to compare our skill sets, respectfully, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Respectfully, obviously. Um. There's a fight this weekend happening by I think Steve. How you say his name? The Australian guy, I think, from New Zealand.
Steve
Uh,
Erceg?
it- yeah, Steve Versick. Yeah. He's fighting Pantoja. That's a good fight, I think.
It's
Those
amazing.
guys, yeah, are very skilled, very good fighters. Pantoja, Brendan Moreno, obviously, as well. Wilfred Reed is now a bantamweight. There's a fight named Mokaev as well. He's very skilled as
Yeah,
well.
Mukaev is
Uh,
amazing.
yeah, very good, very good. Um,
Johnson?
yeah, this Demetrius Johnson, he's too good, man. He's in a different level. Yeah, Yeah, but those guys as well, they're very good as well, very skilled. Like you watch them fight, and then you see why they are what they are,
Yeah,
like at the high level.
for sure. Right. To be honest, I don't have much more questions. So once again, I want to thank you so much because you are in your last week of preparations for your big fight. So that's quite huge that you take some time to be with us.
No, man,
Um,
thank you for having me, man.
would you have some words to close that interview for your fans, for your family, friends, anybody?
Just thank you for everyone who's keep supporting me, and then yeah, just watch my fight next week. If you're in Riyadh or in Jeddah, if you can make it, obviously that would be amazing. But if not, you can watch me on. I think it's on Shahid. It's like a local kind of streaming service.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know how you get, like, if you want to watch it outside of the country, maybe it's in the zone, I think, but I don't know. But yeah, just thank you for all supporting me, and then I'll keep doing what I'm doing, and then um, aim for the best.
Amazing, Malik. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
I
No,
wish
thank
you
you.
I wish you the best. I will be watching you next week and wish you all the success you deserve.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
That was it for our chat with Malik. Once again, I want to thank him to take his time to be with us as he's still preparing his first appearance at PFL Mena. As you can see, he has a great mindset, really relaxed, taking his time to turn pro. I think he will do great things. I will put his social in the description. Please guys, follow him, you don't want to miss out on the next generation of flyweights. And show him some love in the comments. Wish him luck for his upcoming fight. And I will see you in the next Fight IQ show. Enjoy the fights!